Good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I'm your host, Tiffany Daniels. We are going back to that horrible world known as the JRC, but before we do, the usual disclaimers. So, this morning, one of my allies sent around what appeared to be a session of the British government, where a group of old men were lamenting the days where people like me were locked up in institutions and were saying maybe we should go back to the old ways. When I say that there are dinosaurs about that want to drag us kicking and screaming all the way back to the 1950s, this is what I'm talking about. These are the types of individuals that allow places like the JRC to continue even after 6 kids have ended up dead at their hands. Because they don't want to see us. They don't want to deal with us. And there's probably a good chunk of them that don't wish that we were ever born in the first place. I bring it up most days. I don't care. But every once in a while, that irrational, bigoted, and might I say absolutely stupid and brain dead hate begins to eat at you. You know? One of the ways that I help in regards to not letting it eat at me is it exposing it for the evil that it is. Okay? These are the types of individuals that believe autistic people don't know how to read and are essentially animals and treat us accordingly. And they want the rest of the world to treat us accordingly also. These are the people we are up against when we try to close places like the JRC, like Agape Boarding School for Boys, like Cannon Cook Camp. Okay? They literally hate us for daring to be born. They get even more angry when we raise our voices and speak and fight for our own rights. I'm never going to shut up. Not on the evils of ABA, not of the evils of JRC, not on the evils of Agape at every single place like it and every single dinosaur that hates my very existence. Because even though sometimes it gets to you and it hurts, what can I say? I'm a fighter. I've always been a fighter. And I will fight those bastards until, hell freezes over. The cat is out of the bag. And no matter how much these dinosaurs lament the days of institutions, we are never going back there. To put it bluntly, we'll go back there over my dead body. All right, to the disclaimers, folks. If you are unfamiliar with the Stop the Shocks campaign or the campaign against the troubled teen industry, you're going to find all the pertinent links right there in the description box. Please, in particular, take note of the article written by NeuroClastic, a small non-for-profit started by autistics for autistics. In it, they interviewed over 900 ABA professionals in regards to the JRC's so-called behavior modification program. The Judge Rotenberg Educational Center doesn't want you to read that article so much. They threatened NeuroClastic with a defamation lawsuit if they did not remove it from the website. NeuroClastic has refused, so you know the drill, folks. Please read that article, share it on all your social media. Also included is NeuroClastic's public statement in regards to the defamation lawsuit threat, as well as a link to their GoFundMe. We are crowdfunding just in case the JRC sees through with their threat. Trigger warning. Number 1. When we discuss places like the Judge Rotenberg Educational Center or Agape Boarding School for Boys, you're going to hear vivid descriptions of and catch clips of surveillance footage of people with mental health issues and disabled people being tortured and abused. If you got young children present, please make sure to go ahead and utilize the headphones. Trigger warning 2. This channel is marked not for kids for a reason. We use profanity on occasion and speak on dark subjects. If your child is 16 and younger and they are watching this, very obviously parental supervision is advised. Again, I apologize for my appearance. I just got done cleaning the bathroom and that was a special level chore. And let's face it, folks, unless I'm going somewhere, I don't really feel the need to put on the makeup, put on the clothes, and put on that mask that turns me into the doll. So, sorry about the ugly mug, but this is what you get, right? Also, warning. Our G's have been kicking my ass 6 ways from Sunday. Throughout this video and probably all the other videos, you're going to hear a very cracky voice. You'll hear sneezes. You'll hear hacking. My apologies for all of that in advance. I do not know how these edit these things, and when I'm in these type of moods, it's probably not best that I try and learn. All right? So, remember, from the other day, we were going to split this in half because it's, let's face it, very long. So let me kind of read through real quick and get back to where we were. All right. Further, modern study designs that include more coded baseline and treatment data points correlate with clearer demonstration of treatment effects. Another benefit is that relatively recent studies of behavioral treatment of SIB more often report results that are generalizable across settings. Modern study designs are also more reflective of contemporary ethics and practice, making their results more relevant to treatment. In other words, the studies that are out now have to make sure that they are utilizing and are within current ethical standards. Hence why you're not going to be seeing larger tests done in regards to the application of the GED because that falls under kids unethical treatment. Discussing outmoded nomenclature and setting study the effects of contingent shock on body rocking. Okay, this is one of my biggest pet peeves on planet Earth, all right? The absolute hatred and the deep need of neurotypicals to stop any form of stimming. Because it's weird. The stimming, such as body rocking, me twisting, ponytail holders on my wrists, or hand flapping, do not in any way, shape, or form harm anyone. Okay? They don't harm anyone. They may seem weird to you, it may seem weird to the neurotypical world, but in fact, it puts no one in danger. They serve a function. whether it's to regulate and produce a sense of calm, such happens with body rocking or hand flapping, or whether it is a way to get out excess energy because we're hyper and happy. Either way, just because neurotypical society finds it weird and unpleasant doesn't mean that it should be eradicated to make normies feel better about being in our presence, okay? It's discriminatory as hell. It's the fact that these people in ABA and those who demonize stimming in any form feel a need to try to condition stimming out of us, not caring what purpose it serves, nor caring how we may suffer as a result of you removing stimming from us. If you don't see the very obvious prejudice there, I don't know what to tell you. Okay? This is what I mean when I go off when people want to hammer down inclusiveness and diversity. It's all good, inclusive, diverse, include everyone. And then they'd be like, wait, no, not you disabled people, especially not you autistic people, and especially not you other neurodivergents. You don't get to be yourself. We're inclusive and we support diversity unless you're neurodivergent, in which case we expect you to condition yourself to the norms of the rest of society. Okay? Everybody gets to be themselves but us. It's that little tiny disclaimer that, nobody wants to read or talk about except us. You see what I mean? But let's read on, shall we? It is noteworthy that even recent meta-analysis that included punishment techniques did not include the use of ESDs. One panel member described the modern attitude toward ESDs for SIB or AB as wholesale abandonment. It's torture, Karen. Let's quit trying to be nice and care about the JRC's feelings. Okay? The fact of the matter that there is punishment techniques at all in regards to treatment programs and plans in regards to us neurodivergents should be abhorrent to everyone. And I know for a fact is one of the staples that they use inside ABA. Remember I told you that's its own hellscape? Yeah, that. Okay. The concept of using punishment at all towards us in regards to something that is coming not from our own free will necessarily, but because of what we are. Instead of doing the bare minimum, getting that assessment done, the full functional behavioral assessment, finding out what purpose such behavior may serve, figuring out where that behavior is coming from, and treating it accordingly should be abhorrent to everyone. But here we are. That is why people like me are so strongly trying to push out the antiquated ideas that come from ABA that basically see us essentially as subhuman, that we must be trained on how to be human. I wish I was kidding, but I'm not. Okay? And the fact that if we are not acting in a capacity that is their comfortable idea of what normal looks like, then it is okay to perform any form of punishment techniques. It should infuriate you. Okay? It should absolutely boil your blood. Okay? Especially when being used in regards to behaviors that do not threaten anyone. But let's read on, shall we? To summarize the advantages of more recent data, the quality and quantity of the available data tend to be higher. They tend to show clearer effects, and corresponding refinement in techniques lead to greater treatment success. Remember, their idea of success and mine are entirely alien from one another. My idea of success is getting the parts that actually is harmful towards myself or others down to a baseline so that I am able to function, contribute, and move within society. That is my idea of success. The medical model's idea of success is that they cannot, by looking at us, be able to tell the difference between me and a neurotypical standing next to me. Okay? These are not the same things. All right? Just want to clarify because eventually I do plan, hopefully, to go over that in depth at some, tomorrow, mainly because I have no time. So I kind of went off on a tangent there, but let's get back to what they're saying here. When they're talking about is treatment programs and plans that are being based off of a full behavioral assessment haven't been conducted. And plans and treatment programs, whether they're extremely wrong or in my case, extremely right, that is developed from there. When you have a baseline, then you have something to measure from because you can look at that full functional assessment and see where they were, where the treatment began, and be able to know progress along the way on the problem areas that were found during that assessment, which means the data is more likely to be accurate than someone who's playing Russian roulette with treatment. Makes sense, right? You're going to give more weight to something that can actually show measured success, starting from the baseline that is determined during that full functional behavioral assessment being done, from when the different treatment programs, techniques, and everything begin to be used. Then you are going to give any weight to so-called case studies from the JRC, from individuals that we know for a fact and have the receipts to prove it, have at no point in time been subjected to a true, I'm not talking about JRC's bastardized version, but a true full functional behavioral assessment. Should be a no-brainer, right? But here we are. We're going to go ahead and close on that, folks. We don't get very many views on this channel. The few that we do tend to get removed from time to time. So, folks, if you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe. Please don't forget to utilize the comments. I appreciate your time. And as always, folks, we here at Spilling Tea hope you have a good one. I'll see you in a few minutes.